Just like that, we're back. Guys, welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today we're going to be diving into the world of Cardano and specifically talking about the price action of ADA. See what's happened in the last 48 to 24 hours, see what we think is likely to happen next with ADA and where we think things are going slightly longer term. Guys, as we get into this, if you find it useful and informative, hit that like button. I really do appreciate it. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here. Right, with that said, done out of the way, let's jump right on into this chart and see exactly what's going on. We're only going to be doing this briefly today. So we're going to be taking a look at the daily and the hourly. We'll skip the weekly for now. Okay, but we can, of course, see the 5 impulse waves that we've been following for a while now. And again, everything kind of moving up nicely as expected. Slight deviation here, but again, nothing moves in straight lines. So you can kind of see this natural pullback or unnatural pullback, depending on the level of manipulation you believe there is going on with Bitcoin. But ultimately, you can see it's pulling down a little bit here. And again, I still anticipate a small or a little bit further of a pullback to occur. Not too much, but a little bit further before we start to see a good surge to the upside. Overall, we are going to be talking about my expectations for October and where I do think that is likely to go, but we're also going to take a look at those smaller time frames as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just zoom in a little bit here, guys, so we can get a bigger view of what is going on. Let me just pull this up. Okay, so we can do is obviously see that there is a downward trend that was forming here. We briefly kind of wicked above it, but didn't close there. So again, the odd ones out and the anomalies are okay. But that was the 25th of September, right? Just wicking above that line. Otherwise, we actually just trended down. There was an upward trend. And again, this was triangular wedge that was forming here, broken down into our 786, 702, and 618. Getting the bounce from the 618, taking us higher. And again, from here, getting rejected and pulling back down, bouncing from the 702 at the moment, but finding resistance at 786. Okay, so these fib areas are absolutely key to understand because these are ones that will resonate really well with traders. Okay, and you find that we're right now finding resistance at $2.15. We're finding support at $2.03. We have obviously gone down as low as $2.90 at the moment. Now, in terms of my expectations, I think there could be up to another 20% pullback. There's no guarantee of that, obviously, but looking at Ethereum and things that are going on there, we could arguably say that we could pull back about a 20% or so. Hopefully not as much for ADA as you would see for things like Ethereum. So it might actually be that we actually find ourselves coming down to this area just down here at about 183, which was previously a really good strong support for us as a previous resistance line as well. So it's possible that we do see that before completing this cup and handle pattern, right? So we're starting to see what's going on there. And then obviously what that would do is it'll allow us to then have a huge surge to the upside. Okay, so there is a cup and handle forming here. So we have our cup down here, and then obviously our handle. And what we're looking for is the completion of the handle, which I think will be around this area down here, just dropping below the 618, coming into contact and bouncing from 183. It might actually just get another double tap on that 618, and that might be low enough, but we'll just be mindful over that. And then from there, we should be surging up. But how high is it likely to go? Well, we grab a Fibonacci tool for this, and this allows us to predict the kind of estimated area for the pullback to occur, right? And I'm just going to draw it over on the side over here. So we're going to take the high of our handle, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull down to the bottom of our cup, okay? And that would be down here. Okay, and then this allows us to then see another Fibonacci retracement tool, but this one is really all about how high that cup and handle is going to go, okay? Or the surge after the cup and handle. Now, I've already got the target on here, and you can see where that actually looks. It's $4.45. I clearly haven't quite got this in the right spot. Let me pull that down. There we go. Okay, so it's $4.45, okay? And that basically is the 1.618, okay? Completing the cup and handle pattern, that's where the surge would likely occur. Okay, so if I just pull this down a little bit, and we'll pull that down over there, right? So what we end up looking at is basically this cup and handle forming here, a pullback, and then a surge up to this area just here. Okay, and basically that allows us to then complete the cup and handle. That's our target, $4.45 from the current position of $2. So just over double from where our current position is. From there, the expectation would be a pullback. Obviously, we surged past the $3.37. So I'd anticipate that actually that would be a natural place to kind of pull back to, losing a little bit of that momentum that we've had during the month of October. Now, it's going to be hard to actually say exactly, timing wise. I anticipate we'll still have volatility for the next week, maybe two. And then obviously looking for that pullback somewhere up here. Now, drop of 24% is not uncommon. It's quite natural in this space to see those kind of pullbacks. So again, surging up like this way up here, and then having that pullback to try to back test on the previous $3.37 target of ours. That wouldn't be too bad considering we had a surge of 112% in that time period. So overall, everything's looking pretty good if we do complete this pattern and we do start to see this happen there. That's kind of my expectations for October. Once we get past the small time volatility that we have here in terms of what has been going on most recently with Bitcoin and some of these altcoins and the volatility that we've seen in September. Historically speaking, September is always the month of volatility. So obviously once we get past this next week, hopefully we'll start to see things kind of reaching their bottom, and then we can continue the surge to the upside overall. Okay, my expectations are that we shouldn't drop down more than 20% from the current position, and I think ADA is actually going to fall probably, if we need to 183 at the lowest point. Otherwise, bouncing from $1.90 again is also something that we could see, and then from there we should look to basically get this surge to the upside. So a little bit of volatility still to come, guys, but once done and out of the way, we'll be on our way to at least $4.45 in my opinion on this cup and handle pattern. After that, of course, we are still talking about $7.22 at the 4.236 extension, but potentially pushing up a little bit higher towards our $10 range, right? And if you take a look at the current performance from that low to that high there, this one does actually show us $10 now, which is an interesting kind of point to just note there, that the cup and handle pattern in itself is reflecting $10 at a higher peak. But for now, I'm going to stick with the one over here and be conservative. $10 will be nice. I do think that is something that we are likely to see personally as we start to heat up the ecosystem with all sorts of different dApps and use cases, and that was transactional volume is going to be absolutely key into seeing how ADA will perform going further forward. Overall, I'm very, very bullish on what is going on here with ADA. So I'm not concerned over anything in the slightest. These kind of natural kind of pullbacks that you see, they're not, anything to be disheartened by. They just basically allow you an opportunity to dollar cost average a better position, build up your ADA holdings ahead of where we are going. Now, I'm obviously not a financial advisor. Chris is not a financial advisor, so it's important that you do your own research. But in doing our own research, that's my conclusion, and that is my thought process. If we jump down into our hourly, we can see that short-term volatility. We can see that we are in here inside our 618, 702, 786 area, the yellow box, and we are looking for a pullback. We can start to see this thing happening right now. We are, of course, oversold. We are looking to lose that momentum, pull ourselves down a tad, and then from here we'll look to come back up again. We'll eventually find ourselves kind of being volatile in here until we get everything lined up. If we do get the bounce from the 618 as our lower point like we did previously, that would be a fantastic place to see that surge up towards that $4.45 area that we were just talking about. Ultimately, we are expecting a bit of a red day today, just quite naturally, considering everything that's going on in space. We're wanting to take out that momentum. We're wanting to lower the price a little bit. Hopefully, we won't go too low, but do expect a bit of a red day today. And then after that, we'll be looking to move on up again in due course. But overall, I'm still expecting volatility on those smaller time frames, but I do expect October to be a very good month for ADA. $4.45 is according to the cup and handle patterns, so hopefully everything else there kind of comes in and we don't deviate away from that in any way. And hopefully, guys, you have found this video useful and informative. It's a nice brief one to welcome you all back to the channel after being reinstated. And if you have found it useful, hit that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.